Hey everyone, today is going to be a fun one because I am going shopping for my first bow and I'm learning how to shoot it. But first, let's back up a bit. Just kidding. Can't resist a good mom joke. Just can't resist it. Anyways, you probably want to know, how did I get here? Well, I am married to a bow hunter and I've actually even gone with him a few times, but more with a desire to spend some time together, to go hiking in the mountains, to enjoy nature. I hadn't really considered bow hunting for myself. But recently, our oldest son has expressed an interest in archery and hunting as well. And I just started to think, well, maybe this is something I should get into because this could be a really great skill for us to learn together as a family. And today, it's all good.
You may want to do the call me again because I was in the middle of chewing a date.
But fast forward a few months later, and here he comes. You're on your cue this time. So good. That took a few tries. We are going shopping at our local archery store.
Bow shop.
Oh, bow shop. Not archery store, bow shop. So why don't you come with us? Okay. Make sure we look cute. So we're driving to the bow shop and we thought we'd talk a little bit about our thought process for this. So there's lots of different kinds of bows. Why are we wanting to look at compound bows versus more traditional bows like long bows or recurves today?
For a beginner, and especially with the goal of hunting, a compound bow is just going to be, it's easier to learn the accuracy, and as a hunting weapon compared to a traditional bow, it is more lethal. There's more power behind the arrow. The learning curve to shoot accurately is simpler. Downside to compounds is they're more expensive. There are more moving parts, more components. You do need a little more gear.
Yeah.
A compound bow is sized for an individual person, and a recurve and a traditional bow, different people can use them. So that's just some differences in them.
Another reason we're interested in hunting and homesteading, because this channel is first and foremost a homesteading channel, is we do eat meat and we want our kids to have a better concept of where it comes from, and we just think you have more gratitude for your food when you've gone through the process of hunting it or raising it and then slaughtering it.
The effort behind getting your meat that way, it does just give you a better appreciation and gratitude where it comes from. From what most people see of hunting, they only see the end. They only see when the archer lets his arrow fly or the rifleman pulls the trigger. But there is hours and months of work to prepare for this. And when you do finally get to the end, to the shot, only half the job's done. You still have to quarter and skin an animal and carry it out of the woods. You have to be strong enough to bring that meat home. When you bite into a steak that you put in those hours of work for to bring home to your family, and to watch your family eat it and laugh over it and tell the stories, it's the best.
Part of what really catalyzed this was this past spring, Jag said, well, hey, why don't we just put in and see if we draw? And we both happen, he says I'm not allowed to say where we drew, like it's a faux pas or something. But we both drew the same hunts.
Yep. Deer and elk in the same unit, same time.
So how coincidental is that?
That's rare.
A push forward. So it's going to be really fun. So yeah, we wanted to get the bow now, so I have plenty of time to practice and learn. So what's your favorite thing about bow hunting?
To pick one thing I like, there's the meat is amazing. The being in nature is amazing. The therapy of shooting your bow is amazing. The time together is amazing. You did make one video on our last hunt, and it was so fun to be out there. It was like a 4-day date
It was
that,
really nice.
and we were doing hard things and at the top of mountains at 5 in the morning and just exhausted at the end of the day, but smiling. And even though you're exhausted, there was still this like, we want to stay up and talk and plan out the next day. It was just, you're so exhilarated and exhausted at the same time, and it's just peaceful being together like that.
Yeah. I love all that. I can't wait to do more and to involve the kids as they get older. So, all right. Well, we're coming up on the bow shop now, so time to check them out. So I put my finger behind. You're supposed to kind of like go like this, huh?
Yeah, you want to be pulling in your back wall.
Okay. So here I have my new friend at the bow shop who was really nice and adjusted 3 different bows for me to try. So he's adjusting the draw weight and the draw length, which he told me is your wingspan divided by 2.5. So once those bows were set for my size, I was able to try them in these next videos. In the corner, I'm going to put the name of the bow along with the price to give you an idea. And I am being a little vulnerable in these videos because you're going to see me trying to figure out form, which he's really walking me through. You're going to see my shoulder there being sore. You're going to see me looking a little bit silly and him having to help me draw back a little bit. But the reality is, you know, I know when you watch a lot of bow hunting videos, you're watching people who are more experienced, but when you first try this, you're using muscles you just don't normally use in your day-to-day life. So it is a little bit difficult, but I really enjoyed it. I can really see myself enjoying archery and bow hunting. So 3 different bows I tried here. They were all very different in price and in the way that they felt. The most expensive one definitely did feel very smooth and a little more high end. However, I also enjoyed this one, the Diamond Archery Edge. It's called a grow with you bow, so they can really adjust the weights. So the weight was a little bit less on this one at 32 pounds instead of 40. And as you can see, I was able to draw back on my own, which was really a confidence booster. Okay, we just left the bow shop. Initial impressions. My shoulder is so sore. I'm like holding up the camera. I'm like, they were awesome, very patient. There were a lot that we've been looking at that we wanted to try, some of which were coming in next week. So we're actually going to come back. A lot of the ones they set for me, the min was 40 pounds. And with that, you saw in some of the videos, I just needed a little bit of help getting that back. But this is someone who literally, that was my first time shooting a bow. So I know those muscles do, you know, if you're being consistent, they do develop quickly. But at the same time, the last bow I shot was a grow with you bow. So it has a really wide range of draw weight, which is basically how hard it is to pull back. And he set it for me at 32. And maybe I could have done a pound or 2 more than that. But that one I was able to draw back by myself. So that felt good to at least try shooting, being able to pull all the way back. But even, I think I shot maybe 10 arrows and I was like, I don't know if I can do it. Like after that, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't pull it back. So, but they really helped me with my form and kind of explaining the parts of the bow to me and showing me a few different ones. So I actually liked the grow with you bow, but I know you have reservations about that. Jag has his own opinions. Tell us your opinions.
Well, the grow with you bow, because there is such a wide range of adjustability, you lose some of the like power efficiency of the bow. So you aren't throwing as many feet per second downrange as you would with one of the other bows that has a smaller adjustable range. That's the only difference. So it's still a good bow. If you get your practice in, you're going to be accurate. If you're quiet enough, we're going to get close enough to the animal.
Yeah.
I doubt you're going to be shooting longer than 40 yards. We'll probably practice up to like 60 yards, but when you shoot at an animal, we're going to be within 40 yards.
And so the thing about this one that I like is we can bring it down super low. So when our oldest son is a little bit bigger, that could become his bow. But also for me, I can just keep going up incrementally on the weight. But I can also, I could take it to the range by myself and practice, and I'd be able to draw back on my own just because I could start low and go up. Whereas with the other one, and I don't know, maybe I would get there quickly, but at least to start, I would honestly need Jag there to kind of help get my elbow back to the back wall, which is a new term. So with these compound bows, obviously I'm kind of speaking to some people who also don't know much about bow hunting. I'm sure a lot of you do, so I'm sorry if I'm being, I don't know, over explaining, but when you draw back, the compound bow hits this point where it actually becomes easier.
It's called a let off.
A let off. And so that allows you to take some time to aim your shot without, being
hypertension.
Yeah, without having too much tension.
If you watch any bow hunting videos, there are times where the bow hunter will draw his bow back, but the elk is like behind a tree and you gotta wait. There's been stories of like 5, 10, 15 minutes before the elk even takes a step out, and you can't move, because if you move, the elk will notice you.
So all things to think about. We're gonna kind of sleep on what we tried and then go back next week and try some more. And a lot of things are factoring in for us right now. We'll be back next week.